my name is Brooke Anderson. Welcome to my channel. I'm a digital illustrator. I'm pretty new to watercolor painting. I started painting about a year ago, and this is going to be a process video. I start off pretty loose. I do a couple of thumbnails at the beginning. I was inspired by one of my own drawings, but I thought it looked a little stiff, so I wanted to redo it, which ended up being a completely different drawing altogether. The first picture was a little girl with dark short hair having a tea party, which I plan to do in the future, but I just didn't like where things sat exactly. So I thought I'd switch it up with a girl doing yoga. Thought maybe that would loosen things up. This is a girl doing yoga on the beach. Oh, with her friend who is a fox and a bird doing yoga. Why not? So yeah, so I did a couple of thumbnails. I only did 3 thumbnails and then just landed on this one. I figured you could do 100 thumbnails and eventually find the perfect one, but I'm a mother and don't have time for that. So this is it. If you notice, I did a box trick here where I wasn't liking where the feet were landing, and so I did a quick box. I didn't even finish the box because it wasn't really necessary, just to see where the feet should actually go. It's a really helpful process, especially at the very beginning. If you're not quite sure or wondering why your characters don't have volume, I think this helps. This is on my iPad Pro using Procreate. I start with this because it is the quickest way, I find, to come up with a drawing, come up with a pose and a composition, and not waste paper. And it's pretty fast. And you can use the lasso tool, that always helps. When I first started learning digital illustration, when it first was coming out, I remember thinking that I could never do it. It just seemed, it seemed amazing and so out of my wheelhouse. I started on Photoshop, and it took me so long to figure out what multiply was. They didn't really have YouTube back then, like they do now. At least if they did, I wasn't aware of it. I'm sure they had it, but yeah. I'm actually taking my watercolor paper and drawing right on top of my iPad to get hopefully the best results here. I'm going in as lightly as I can, and I'm also loosening my grip. The looser grip you have on your pencil, the more flowy it can go. I tighten up my grip when I want to get a little bit more detail, but throughout this painting, I try my hardest to be as loose as possible, and I think that stayed pretty true throughout the whole painting. I shouldn't say as loose as possible, but it's as loose as I'm going. Looser than my previous paintings. And like I said, I'm just learning, so I feel like, I have a pretty good idea with a lot of things when it comes to drawing. I'm mostly an intuitive painter. I don't really know what I'm doing, I'm making it all up. But I feel like even the last few times I've learned a lot from when I started, so we're just gonna keep going on this quest to figure out where we're gonna go with it. So I used the blue and the red pencil. Then I decided to, instead of just keeping my colors separated, I was going to use the blue on top of the purple in certain areas. Not everywhere, but just kind of where the shadows would hit on the underside. It kind of livened up things a little bit more, and it made my drawing feel a little bit more alive. These plants, I feel like the plants kind of got lost a little bit in my drawing, but I was trying to be free with them. I was thinking kind of a beachy scene. I haven't been on the beach for a long time. I wish I was on the beach. Okay, this was a drawing full of experiments because I've seen this process done before where they've gone in with a cool color to describe their shadows, and then on top of that they'll go in with their color. So I decided to try it, and I really loved it. I loved this little process, and I think part of the reason why I liked it is because it made, well, first of all, my brain liked it. It made sense. I had already chosen from the very beginning where my light source was going to be. I just focused on it right from the beginning, and then towards the end, when I usually put in my shadows, I'm not guessing so much throughout the whole process. I've already decided, okay, this is where the shadow is. Which, now that I'm looking at it, maybe I didn't make the best choices. But here's the thing, is you don't really have to be exact, especially with an illustration. And I think that's why I do like illustration so much, is that you can break the rules and get away with it. Hopefully I got away with it a little bit here. And then, like I said, on top of that, I come in with color. I'm trying to hold still while I do this voiceover, but I'm a little wiggly. So if you hear me wiggling on my chair, that's what it is. I've turned off the heater though. So I'm sitting in my cold studio. I have no vent from the house, and so I just bring in this small heating machine thing. It's by my feet, but I turned it off so I could do this voiceover. Now I'm just making noises anyway with my feet because I can't keep them still. But that's okay. Hopefully you don't hear it and it's not that obnoxious. But as I'm saying this, my feet are still moving. Okay. So I started in with the color, and I learned from last time I went in too strong with the last one, so I was very cautious about going in lightly this time. Used a lot of water and wasn't so gung-ho about it. But then I got to build up the color, which I think is my favorite part of watercolors, is after you put in your local colors or your flats. I heard that term the other day. I didn't know that that's what it was called, but I guess if you're in the graphic novel world, it's called flats. Correct me if I'm wrong there, I could be wrong. So once you're done with that, then you kind of get to build up a little bit more. That's what I'm doing here. I'm just using my brush. I'm not sure what I'm mixing. I'm mixing like orange and red, I think, are the two colors. I'm sure they have names, but I took off all of the wrappers and didn't think to name my colors. So now they are just red, blue. There's that yellow that I never use because there's so much green on it. I should kind of clean that off. Here I go in with the black, and I told you I never use black. And I really don't. I rarely use black, but I guess I should never say never. But I did panic after I put in the black, and so I put purple on top of it. I don't know if that helped, but there was definitely panic. I had a lot of fun putting in these. I felt very artistic, putting in the darks of the shadows of the grass. I didn't have any references that I used throughout this drawing. I saw this pose on Pinterest though, but it was on a different angle, so I kind of had to make it up. I flopped it. I flopped it? I don't know. I was losing the shadows from the initial pass. Oh, here's my fancy purple color. That's the purple I was using. It was a good shot though, huh? I just put them in, and then I'm putting them in the line work. I did end up using a mixture of blue and purple, which I try to avoid usually because I figure, okay, you either use blue or use purple, but I was spontaneous and used blue as well. I'm in the process right now of drawing a graphic novel. No, writing a graphic novel. And so I've been playing with character design lately. And I had one that I had drawn up, I think about 6 months ago. And then today I came up with a new character design. And my son said he liked the original. So now I feel like I have to start all over. That's okay. He said all the kids at school will like the other one better. Here I bring out my colored pencils. I like to go in with the shadows, but I try not to outline everything. If I outline it, I think when you use an outline, then it ends up flattening your stuff, which I think is a great style. I have no problem with that. It's just not what I did here, so. foot of the fox is probably my favorite part. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. See ya!